Welcome to Dublin and the ultimate travel guide. In this video, I'll show you how to get here, how to get around, where to stay, where to eat, and what there is to do and see in this remarkable city.
Most travelers to Ireland arrive at Dublin Airport. The airport's about a 30-minute drive into the city centre. You can travel into the city by bus, taxi, or rental car. Surprisingly, though, there's no train service from the airport. Other visitors enter the country by ferry and dock at the Dublin ferry port. A bus or taxi can then transfer you directly into the city. One of the wonderful things I love about Dublin is that it's very walkable. We found that most of the sites are no more than about a 15-minute walk from each other. So if you're staying pretty central and you're okay with walking, it's an easy and great option. Now, if you prefer bikes, Dublin is a bike-friendly city with dedicated cycling lanes. However, if you want to explore more of the city, or you're just tired, or suffering from jet lag, or you've had one too many Guinnesses, then another option is the hop-on, hop-off style of transport. In this regard, Dublin is well served with several different options. Each of these companies have similar routes and similar prices. Yet another option is Dublin's fairly efficient public transportation system consisting of buses, trams, and trains.
As you would expect, Dublin offers a wide range of accommodation options to suit every budget and preference, including hostels, hotels, guest houses, and apartments. We chose to stay at the Meldrone Hotel on Kevin Street, which is right across the road from the St. Patrick's Cathedral. It also is central to most of the attractions within Dublin and within easy walking distance of these attractions. There are plenty of food options in Dublin, from the classic and fun pubs to high-end dining, and of course, all the fast food restaurants you can ever dream or dread. So just keep your eyes open. There's plenty of food options and restaurants in the city of Dublin.
Since we've been in Dublin, one restaurant actually has stood out, and that was Bewley's Oriental Cafe on Grafton Street. It has a beautiful setting, wonderful food, and actually was relatively affordable. Dublin is famous for its traditional Irish pubs, where you can enjoy a pint of Guinness or sample local whiskey while listening to live music. And if you don't pop your head into one of these, well, you're missing out. Popular pubs include the Brazen Head, Ireland's oldest pub, the Temple Bar, and the neighborhood named after this famous pub. In truth, though, the town is full of pubs. They're everywhere, so you won't have any trouble finding one.
There are plenty of attractions to see while you're here in Dublin. In fact, you need far more than a single day or two to see them all. So that being said, here are the major attractions in the city of Dublin.
The Guinness Storehouse is one of the most popular attractions in the entire country. The Storehouse showcases the rich history and brewing heritage of Ireland's beloved Guinness beer. The self-guided tour is about 90 minutes long, and I strongly recommend you book your ticket well in advance. This interactive multi-level tour teaches you about the history of the company, including the crazy 9,000-year lease signed by Arthur Guinness back in 1759, and also the tour takes you through what ingredients and brewing techniques are used for this famous drink. There are places to eat in the factory, and you can end the tour in the Gravity Bar with a pint of the black stuff and probably Dublin's best view. And if you have any money left, you can leave it in the Guinness store, which sells everything. I mean, everything Guinness. So, was it worth it? Yes, it actually far exceeded my expectations, and I highly recommend it. All right, well, let's continue with the alcohol theme and the Jameson Distillery tour. Jameson Distillery is on the north side of the River Liffey, and the tours are set in the beautifully preserved former Jameson factory, which was founded by John Jameson way back in 1780. There are several tours available, but we took the Bow Street Experience Tour, which was about 45 minutes in length, gave us the history of the company, distilling techniques, and some comparison tastings. Our tour guide was Finn, and this young man was excellent. The tour is well worth it, even if whiskey is not necessarily your thing. The Temple Bar area in Dublin is a vibrant cultural hub known for its lively atmosphere, eclectic mix of pubs, restaurants, and galleries. It's also a magnet for tourists and is very, very busy, particularly as the day turns to night. If you're looking for the locals, well, you won't find them here unless they're working. But if you're looking for an area with a large number of pubs with real character, then this is the place in Dublin. The Brazenhead pub is not too far from the Temple Bar area and is the oldest pub in Ireland, apparently. To be fair, I really liked this pub as it felt authentic and the staff was super nice. The pub offers nightly Irish music, well, except for the night that we went, unfortunately. Close to the Temple Bar area is Grafton Street, which is a lively pedestrian shopping street known for its buskers, street performers, high-end shopping, and plenty of restaurants. But in addition to the fancy shopping, there's also a number of the typical tourist shops, if you want something that is, well, green and that says Ireland on it. If you want even more shopping, there is the Stephen's Green Shopping Centre at the far south end of the street, opposite St. Stephen's Green. Trinity College was founded in 1592 and is Ireland's oldest university and is located in the heart of Dublin. The university boasts a rich history and distinguished alumni, including Oscar Wilde, Samuel Beckett, and Bram Stoker. Trinity College is also the location for the Book of Kells and the famous and gorgeous Old Library. The Book of Kells is a treasured medieval manuscript penned in Latin and meticulously crafted by Celtic monks around 800 AD. The book presents the four Gospels of the New Testament. The actual book is housed in glass at Trinity College Old Library, and you're not able to photograph it. But I can tell you it's exquisite and seemingly in pristine condition, which is amazing. The main chamber of the old library is the Long Room, and frankly, it's one of the world's most beautiful libraries. The room is nearly 65 meters in length and is normally filled with 200,000 of the library's oldest books. However, most of these books are not there at the moment, as they're presently undergoing restoration. Also housed in the library is a medieval harp known as the Brian Boru harp. This harp is the oldest of its kind in Ireland and is the logo for a famous beer called Guinness. Visiting the library is included in the tour of the Book of Kells. The appropriately named Epic Irish Immigration Museum offers an impressive journey through Ireland's rich history of immigration. This museum is incredible, and Epic was actually named Europe's leading tourist attraction in 2019, 2020, and 2021. Through interactive exhibits, multimedia displays, and personal stories, visitors trace the global impact of Irish immigrants and their contributions to the world. From famine to fortune, the museum explores themes of adversity, opportunity, and resilience, celebrating the diverse experiences and enduring legacy of the Irish people across the globe. Dating back to the 13th century, Dublin Castle is a symbol of Ireland's history and heritage. You can explore the castle grounds, gardens, and state apartments while learning about its role in Irish politics and culture. Explore the history and architecture of this medieval castle, which has served as a fortress, royal residence, and government centre over the centuries. Kilmainham Jail is an historic former prison that played a pivotal role in Ireland's struggle for independence. Operating from 1796 to 1924, it housed many notable political prisoners. Today it stands as a museum, offering guided tours that provide insight into Ireland's tumultuous past. You can explore the stark cells, hear stories of rebellion, and gain a deeper understanding of Irish history within its somber walls. St. Patrick's Cathedral is Ireland's largest church and was founded way back in 1191. It's known for its Gothic architecture, beautiful stained glass windows, and connections to the country's patron saint. What stood out to me was how meticulously maintained this church is. It just appears to be perfect. You can book a tour in advance or just brave it and show up like we did and pay the entrance fee of €10. Christ Church Cathedral was established in 1028 and is truly an iconic medieval structure smack dab in the middle of Dublin and is famous for its architectural beauty and significant history. You can book a self-guided tour of the church or, if you get lucky, do a guided tour. The cost is €11 for the self-guided tour. Now, of course, I haven't mentioned everything that you can see in Dublin, but other sites include Phoenix Park, the Dublin Zoo, St. Stephen's Green, the Teeling Distillery, the Spire, and the famous Halfpenny Bridge. And I know I've still missed a few. If you've got a little bit of extra time, leave Dublin. Yep, leave it and see some of the beautiful Irish countryside. There are many worthwhile sites just within a few hours of Dublin. Now, we did have an extra day while in the city of Dublin and joined paddy wagon tours for a day trip of Northern Ireland.
One of the great attractions in all of Ireland, of course, is the Giant's Causeway.
Our bus dropped us off near the visitor center, and a brisk 20-minute walk later, we had reached the amazing 40,000 honeycomb-patterned basalt columns. Now, this is a busy attraction, and the rocks can be slippery, so be careful. But wow, what a beautiful, beautiful sight. Another area we passed by was the Dark Hedges. Yep, another Game of Thrones site. This area is best early in the morning with heaps of fog. Well, if you're lucky. Another fascinating stop was Belfast. Now, one surprise for me were the walls, called Peace Walls, that were erected during the Troubles, but these walls actually remain to this day. We also visited the Titanic Museum in Belfast, which is housed in a fantastic-looking building located on the very place where the Titanic was designed, built, and launched. If you have the time, this truly is an exceptional museum and one I highly recommend. And last, but certainly not least, are the Cliffs of Moher, which just happens to be Ireland's most visited natural attraction, and I think it's easy to see why. To be honest, this is a very long day trip from Dublin, but there are many tour companies that offer it, and once you arrive, well, I think you'll understand why it's worth it. Again, there are so many other things to see near Dublin, including the Wicklow Mountains National Park, so take your time, soak it all in, and enjoy what the country has to offer.
So there you go, the incredible and beautiful city of Dublin.